Retirement should be your reward, a time to relax, enjoy life, and finally live on your own terms. But what if the state you choose to retire in turns your golden years into a financial nightmare? Right now in 2025, millions of American retirees are waking up to a brutal reality: the state they trusted is bleeding them dry with taxes. We're not just talking about a few $100s here and there. We're talking about thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, vanishing every single year. Some states wave the retirement flag high, claiming to be tax-friendly while secretly clawing back your hard-earned savings through hidden income taxes, property levies, and minimal exemptions. And if you think Social Security will save you, think again. In many of these states, even that sacred retirement lifeline isn't fully protected. What's worse, most retirees don't realize how bad it is until it's too late. So today, we're pulling back the curtain. This is your wake-up call. We're counting down the 10 U.S. states that will tax your retirement income the heaviest in 2025, and the results will shock you. Whether you're planning your retirement now or already living it, this video might just save your future. Number 10. Wisconsin. Wisconsin often flies under the radar in tax discussions, but make no mistake, it's quietly draining retirees of their hard-earned income. While its cost of living may look modest on the surface compared to coastal states, its tax policies tell a very different story. Retirement income in Wisconsin, especially from pensions and IRA distributions, faces a graduated state income tax system that imposes effective rates averaging 5 to 6%. For seniors relying on fixed incomes, that bite is anything but minor. What makes it worse is the lack of retirement-specific tax relief. Unlike some states that offer generous exemptions for pensions or retirement savings, Wisconsin provides minimal deductions. This means retirees are often left paying the full brunt of the state tax burden. Social Security may be exempt, but the rest of your retirement nest egg, it's up for grabs. When combined with other unavoidable expenses, like rising health care costs and creeping utility bills, Wisconsin's tax regime shrinks your disposable income fast. Over the course of a decade, this can lead to lifetime losses in the tens of thousands. And let's not forget property taxes, which aren't exactly a bargain here either. So why are retirees still flocking to Wisconsin? Are they being lured by nostalgia and Midwestern charm while ignoring the financial red flags? For many, the answer is yes. But what comes next will shock you. Number 9. Vermont. Vermont may look like a peaceful paradise for retirement, covered bridges, maple syrup, and rolling green hills, but underneath the charm is a punishing tax code that hits retirees where it hurts. Vermont's progressive income tax system reaches up to 8.75% at the top bracket, and yes, it applies to most forms of retirement income. While some states give retirees a break on pensions or IRA distributions, Vermont's exemptions are limited. Retirees here pay near full tax rates on those retirement income sources, leaving them vulnerable to steep annual tax hits. Even Social Security isn't entirely safe. It's partially taxed based on income, and that partial exemption vanishes fast for moderate earners. Adding fuel to the fire is Vermont's high cost of living. Property taxes are among the highest in New England, and rising utility bills in rural areas are pushing fixed-income retirees to the brink. It's no wonder that some financial analysts now consider Vermont one of the least retirement-friendly states in the Northeast. The shocking truth: effective tax burdens for retirees in Vermont can approach 8%, cutting deep into savings and squeezing every dollar. So why would anyone choose Vermont as their final stop? Is the postcard beauty really worth the price? Number 8. Utah. Utah may surprise you. Known for its clean cities and outdoor beauty, it ranks high in lifestyle appeal, but when it comes to taxing retirees, it plays hardball. Utah applies a flat income tax rate of approximately 4.95% across all income types, including retirement income. And here's the kicker: there are minimal exemptions for retirees. While some retirees appreciate the simplicity of a flat tax, it's cold comfort when you're living on a fixed income and every dollar counts. A 5% hit on pensions, IRAs, and other retirement distributions might not sound extreme, but year after year, it adds up. Especially when you're getting taxed on nearly every form of income. Utah's cost of living, while moderate, is climbing fast, especially in booming areas like Salt Lake City and Provo. With property prices rising and healthcare costs catching up, that 5% tax begins to weigh heavier and heavier on retirees' wallets. And let's not forget, Utah's tax policy doesn't allow much wiggle room. Unlike other states with age-based exemptions or retirement deductions, Utah offers retirees little relief. Thousands of dollars gone, every year. Is the quality of life worth the financial hit? Number 7. Nebraska. Nebraska might sit quietly in the heartland, but for retirees, its tax code is anything but gentle. The Cornhusker state aggressively taxes nearly all forms of retirement income, including Social Security for many residents. While recent legislation has promised gradual relief, the reality in 2025 is stark. If you're not ultra-low income, you're paying a lot. Pensions. Taxed. 401k and IRA withdrawals. Taxed. Even Social Security, which is sacred in most states, gets clipped if your income exceeds modest thresholds. The state income tax ranges from 2.46% to a whopping 6.64%, and for middle-income retirees, that upper bracket hits fast. Combine that with Nebraska's property taxes, some of the highest in the nation, and you're staring down a retirement math problem that simply doesn't add up. What's more frustrating is the slow pace of reform. Nebraska passed a law to phase out Social Security taxes over time, but retirees living now don't have the luxury to wait a decade for relief. Many are discovering too late that what looked like an affordable Midwestern life is actually draining their savings year by year. So why does Nebraska continue to punish its aging population? Is it mismanagement, or a quiet strategy to push retirees out? Either way, the numbers don't lie, and they're bleeding red. Number 6. California. The Golden State might glitter on the surface, but dig a little deeper and you'll find it's one of the worst financial traps for retirees. California doesn't tax Social Security benefits, but everything else is fair game, from public pensions to private retirement accounts. And with an income tax rate that soars up to 13.3%, it's the highest in the country. For retirees with any significant nest egg, California can feel like financial quicksand. IRA and 401k withdrawals are treated like ordinary income, and with housing costs already sky high, even modest withdrawals can bump seniors into higher tax brackets. It's not uncommon for retirees to lose tens of thousands annually in state taxes alone. Add to that the relentless cost of living, skyrocketing housing, utilities, gas prices, and healthcare, and it's clear why so many retirees are fleeing California in droves. The dream of ocean sunsets and wine country peace turns into a nightmare of tax bills and eroding savings. And yet, California officials show little interest in giving retirees a break. Is the state banking on nostalgia and beauty to distract from its fiscal assault? For many, the sunshine just isn't worth the storm. Number 5. New Mexico. New Mexico bills itself as the land of enchantment, but for retirees, it often feels more like a land of entrapment. Despite low housing prices and appealing desert vistas, its tax system is one of the most unfriendly to older Americans. Most retirement income is taxed, including Social Security benefits, something very few states still dare to do. The state's income tax rates, ranging from 1.7% to 5.9%, hit harder than they look, especially because exemptions are limited. While some recent laws have aimed to soften the blow, many retirees still find themselves paying more than expected. For those with multiple income streams, the cumulative tax burden can be crushing. New Mexico's broader economic struggles only make matters worse. Public services are stretched thin, infrastructure is lacking, and crime rates in key cities are rising. So retirees often ask, what exactly are we paying for? For many, the answer is, not much. You're taxed like a coastal elite but live in a state where resources are strained. So why is New Mexico still marketed as a retirement haven? The truth is, it's a gamble. Some retirees come for the beauty, only to be blindsided by the tax reality. Number 4. Minnesota. If you're thinking Minnesota offers a warm welcome in retirement, think again, unless you mean the taxes, which come in hot. Minnesota is one of the few states that taxes Social Security, and it does so aggressively. Combine that with state income tax rates up to 9.85%, and you've got a snowstorm of financial strain waiting for you. Most pensions, 401k withdrawals, and IRA distributions are also fully taxed, with limited deductions for retirees. And while the state has made minor adjustments in recent years, the relief barely scratches the surface for middle-income seniors. Even moderate retirement income can push you into painful tax brackets. Adding insult to injury, Minnesota has notoriously high property taxes, plus escalating utility and heating costs thanks to long winters. For retirees, that means shelling out more just to stay warm and keep the lights on, a cruel irony in a state that's freezing half the year. So, why do retirees stay? Many are drawn by family, familiarity, or misguided financial advice. But once the tax bills start landing, that cozy cabin on the lake starts to feel a lot colder. Number 3. Connecticut. Connecticut is often seen as wealthy and serene, but for retirees, it's a financial minefield. The state hits almost every form of retirement income, with only partial exemptions. Social Security, only some is exempt, depending on income. Pensions and IRA withdrawals, heavily taxed, often at marginal rates climbing towards 6.99%. That might not sound catastrophic on paper, but when combined with Connecticut's sky-high property taxes, real estate costs, and overall cost of living, retirees can find themselves losing massive chunks of their income just to stay afloat. Healthcare costs here are among the highest in the nation, making the situation even worse for aging residents. And Connecticut isn't just expensive, it's inefficient. Public services are overburdened, infrastructure is crumbling in some regions, and residents often feel like they're paying more but getting less. The wealth gap is extreme, and for retirees without deep pockets, the financial squeeze is relentless. Is Connecticut trying to drive out its retirees? If not, it's doing a pretty good job of it anyway. Number 2. Rhode Island. Tiny in size but massive in taxes, Rhode Island continues to surprise, and not in a good way. The state taxes nearly all retirement income sources, including IRA and 401k distributions, while offering limited relief even for middle-class seniors. Social Security, only partially exempt, and the thresholds are low. Rhode Island's top income tax rate of 5.99% is just the beginning. Property taxes are among the highest in the U.S., with narrow deductions for seniors. Even modest homes can carry massive annual tax bills, and the combination of those fixed costs with income taxes creates a relentless burden on retirees. The cost of living is also no joke. Everything from groceries to healthcare comes at a premium, and retirees quickly discover that their fixed income doesn't stretch far. Even smaller cities like Providence have experienced rising costs with little matching relief. Why do retirees get caught in the Rhode Island trap? Because no one expects a small state to carry such a big tax hammer. But make no mistake, this is one of the most punishing places to retire in America. Number 1. Illinois. Topping the list as the worst state for retirement taxes in 2025 is none other than Illinois, a state in financial freefall. While Illinois doesn't tax retirement income directly yet, its property taxes are the second highest in the country, and the state's deep fiscal troubles mean retirees are footing the bill for decades of mismanagement. Let's start with property taxes. In many Illinois counties, seniors are paying over $7,000 annually just to stay in their homes. And those taxes are rising as the state desperately tries to plug budget holes. Sales taxes are also among the highest nationwide, further eating into fixed incomes. But here's the real danger. Illinois' pension crisis and budget shortfalls are threatening to overturn the current retirement tax exemption. Multiple proposals have been floated to begin taxing pensions, 401k, and IRAs, and many believe it's only a matter of time. Retirees are sitting on a ticking time bomb, and the fuse is getting shorter. So why is Illinois number 1? Because it's not just about what they're taxing now, it's about what's coming next. Retirees in Illinois aren't just dealing with high costs, they're facing an uncertain, unstable future. And that makes it the most dangerous state to trust with your golden years. Your retirement years are supposed to be your reward, not a punishment. But in these 10 states, you're not just paying for services, you're paying for decades of government mismanagement, bloated budgets, and broken promises. And the worst part, most retirees have no idea until they're trapped. Trapped in a home they can't afford to sell. Trapped in a state they can't afford to leave. Trapped in a system that's rigged against them. We're not saying you have to flee tomorrow, but you do need to wake up. Where you retire isn't just about weather, family, or nostalgia. It's about math. It's about survival. It's about protecting the money you worked your whole life to save. Because if you don't plan ahead, the state will plan to take it from you, piece by piece. So ask yourself, is it worth it? Is that familiar neighborhood, that favorite diner, or that old community center worth losing thousands every year in hidden taxes and rising costs? Or is it time to make the move, to a state that actually respects what you've built? Because one thing's for sure, retirement doesn't forgive bad financial decisions. And the state you choose could be the biggest one you ever make.